for adult education. As you can see, we have our graduates on stage, and very shortly, you will hear their names read and celebrate their success with them. You know that this is a very special event, and we are happy to have some important people from the community that want to be part of this. I'd like to introduce the dignitaries that are on stage first. First, I'd like you to meet Dr. James Ball, the president of Carroll Community College. Beside him is Mary Kay Nevius-Maurer, a member of the Carroll Community College Board of Trustees. Next, we have Carroll County Commissioner, Mr. Dennis Frazier. Vice President Karen Merkel, and Steve Berry, Director of Career and Continuing Education. In addition, in the back row, I'd like to introduce our guests from Dollar, I always get that mixed up. They're here today from the, now I'm drawing a blank. The Department of Labor, Licensing and Regulations, Helen Coop. Next to her is Ramona Kunkel. Beside Ramona is the Vice President of the Carroll County School Board, Bob Lord. And next to Mr. Lord is Susan Leibman, our Instructional Coordinator. I'd like to introduce one more dignitary that is here, but she's not on stage, and that is Heather Powell. She is from Burke, the Business Employment Resource Center. Heather, could you stand? Thank you. She is our WIOA Youth Coordinator, and we've been working very closely with her. Finally, I'd like to acknowledge our instructors and staff. The impact that they have on these graduates can last for generations. Please stand and be recognized. Staff, instructors, can you give them a round of applause? Thanks for all that you do. We really appreciate it. It is my honor to now invite Dr. Ball to the podium to deliver greetings. Dr. Ball.
Thank you very much, and good evening, everyone. It is a beautiful night out, isn't it, for this kind of event, and for you sitting here with us on the stage. I can't say a hearty enough congratulations to you for your achievement, for being able to sit here. And I want to say thanks to everyone who's in the audience to support you for the job that you have done being here tonight. And to our staff who have helped to teach you and prepare you, you know that they put their heart and soul into it for you, and as you put your heart and soul into it, so we want to be able to say thank you to them, which I'm sure you're going to do through the evening. It is a special night when we can celebrate the achievements and the investment that individuals make in improving themselves and preparing their mind, disciplining themselves to take that next educational step. And the benefits that they are able to derive from that effort on their part is really nothing short of magnificent. And I think what's the most important piece of that is what that does for you all here. That you have overcome a lot of obstacles, and you have persevered to be able to sit here tonight is a huge event, and we love celebrating that with you. Just a few characteristics of the class. There were 13 graduates from the adult education program who will be receiving their high school diplomas this evening. 10 of the 13 graduates passed the GED exam, and 3 earned their diploma through the National External Degree Program. They range in age from 17 to older than that. I won't get deep into that, but a nice age range, to say the least, 4 were born outside the United States and have native languages other than English. So to be able to achieve this not in your native language is also quite an achievement. 9 of the 13 graduates are employed, either full or part-time. We have 4 parents in this graduating class with a total of 10 children. And 6 of our graduates reside in Westminster. The others live in Eldersburg, Tawnytown, Hampstead, Finksburg, Manchester, and Linwood. So a wonderful group that we have before us tonight who have all worked very, very hard to be here and have made that sacrifice for themselves. They have put that investment into themselves. And to you all, again, I say congratulations. And you know I'm going to do this, a challenge to say this is not over for you. We want you to keep going. We as a college are here for you for the next steps. We want you to continue to invest in yourself. There's no finer investment you can make and no better thing that you can do for yourself other than perhaps keeping your body well prepared, that and preparing your mind and keeping your mind sharp and continuing to build on what you've built on tonight. Many of you probably doubted you could be here, yet here you are. Just imagine that it's just another few steps, and pretty soon you're up here with a degree from college. So it's not hard. We can help you do it, and I really would love to see each and every one of you make that challenge to yourself. So thank you all for being here tonight. This is a great celebration, and graduates, congratulations.
Thank you, Dr. Ball. I'd like to ask Karen Merkel, Vice President of Continuing Education and Training, to come forward and to introduce our guest speaker, Trustee Mary Kay Nevius-Maurer.
Good evening, everyone, and let me first also extend my congratulations to the graduates. We are so very proud of you and wish you all the best as you move forward. And as Dr. Ball said, we do hope to see you back here at Carroll Community College. It is my honor this evening to introduce our speaker, Ms. Mary Kay Nevius-Maurer. Ms. Nevius-Maurer is the newest appointed member to the Carroll Community College Board of Trustees and brings with her a wealth of experience in education. A lifelong Carroll County resident, she earned her bachelor's degree in English education and a master's degree in liberal arts from Western Maryland College, now McDaniel College. Ms. Nevius-Maurer began her career teaching English at Westminster High School and then moved to the new Winters Mill High School upon its opening, and where she taught there until her retirement in 2015. During her 41-year career, she was a distinguished educational leader, playing key roles in developing and enhancing the educational programs in Carroll County Public Schools. She has extensive experience in special education, English literature, and advanced placement English programs. She co-authored a writing handbook, developed new curriculum, and served as the chair of the English department for 23 years. Other roles, and I know there are many more than I have on this piece of paper. She's done so many things. Other roles included serving as a National Honor Society advisor for Westminster and Winters Mill High School and as chair of the Carroll County Public Schools Teacher Advisory Council. She's been honored with numerous awards, and I'm sure I have only a few listed here. She received the Western Maryland Distinguished Teacher of the Year, the Teacher of the Year by the Maryland Council of the Teachers of English Language Arts, the Governor's Citation, the Ray A. Kroc Teacher Achievement Award, the Carroll County Chamber of Commerce Teacher of the Year Award, the Carroll County Outstanding Teacher Award, and the College Board AP Recognition Award, and as I said, I'm sure there are many more. Please join me in welcoming Ms. Mary Kay Nevius-Maurer to the podium to deliver some remarks to our graduates. Thank you.
Once upon a time, many, many years ago, in a land of lollipops, unicorns, and rainbows, when I was a beginning teacher, I was eagerly pursuing my master's degree. One of my classes required that we take a field trip to Hopewell Furnace, a historical site in Pennsylvania. My husband, who has always loved history, volunteered to drive me and a few friends. While walking around the area, my husband and my professor engaged in conversation the entire day. As we were getting ready to leave at the close of day, my professor shook hands with my husband and complimented him on his vast and impressive knowledge. He then asked my husband what college he had attended, to which my darling husband replied, "Walken Seymour University." I cringed, and one of my friends suppressed a laugh with her hand. My professor then innocently said, "Really? I've never heard of that school. Where is it located?" My husband continued his brief comic stand with a response, "Hard Knocks, Tennessee." Again, my professor naively commented, "Well, I shall have to look up this school." And I was certain once the professor realized the joke he had fallen for, that I was sure to fail the class. But while my husband was being funny, he was also being truthful and aware that he was surrounded by people who, compared to him, had been more fortunate in their educational pursuits. My husband had been attending Frederick Community College when he was drafted during the Vietnam War. College deferments were over. He was the next to the last number drawn for the war. He jokingly refers to it as the only lottery he has ever won. What the lottery and Vietnam and the draft did do was interrupt my husband's education. Many of you have had similar experiences of interruptions to your education. Maybe there were illnesses and family crises that interrupted yours. Perhaps you were just too immature while you were in school and needed some time to step back and grow up. As a teacher, I saw pupils lost in the chaos of all that high school represents, or they did not realize their own potential, so they just shut down, gave up, and dropped out. I watched my immigrant students get overwhelmed by language barriers and jobs that they held, trying to help support their families. Something my husband learned from his experiences has been to value education. He never stopped preaching that appreciation to our daughter. And while I was pursuing my master's degree, if I'm really being honest with myself, I don't believe I really valued education. Getting my degree was just the next step, and I was more in a hurry to get it accomplished than consider how it was helping me as a person. It was not until I woke up in my teaching career and worked with others that I had my realization. What is brave, courageous, and bold is taking the risk to go back to school. You took that risk. You have learned to balance time commitments, such as work with family responsibilities and commitments to classes that were often intense. You have shown that you have the knowledge, skills, and discipline to earn a diploma and transfer those same skills to the workplace and life itself. For over 30 years at both Westminster High School and Winters Mill High Schools, I coordinated the graduation ceremony. Having also taught seniors, I knew that many of the students were sitting in the audience, fearing leaving friends and the familiarity of school. And honestly, some were just thinking about going to Ocean City in a few hours. I don't think many were, at that time, reflecting on their education and the work it may have taken. You, however, are probably not planning on driving to Ocean City after this ceremony this evening. But I do hope that you are planning to celebrate this occasion with family and friends. Celebrate their love and support of you. Celebrate your own discipline and determination. Celebrate achieving a goal. Herbert Spencer said, "The great aim of education is not the knowledge, but action." You knew that was the great aim. You took the necessary action to attain knowledge. May you continue to take action using that knowledge and not be fearful of continuing to gain and use even more. Congratulations.
Thank you for your inspiring remarks. It is now my pleasure to introduce our two student speakers who were chosen by the adult education staff. They are examples of how education can turn your life around. Both of them faced a problem and did what was needed to solve it. Mary, would you please come to the podium?
How are you?
Good.
Good.
I had many encounters with Mary Zafries as I came to work in the morning. Many days she was there waiting for someone to let her into a classroom so she could get on the computer. She was really gung-ho about getting her work done. I admired her dedication. She was always upbeat, pleasant, and ready to tackle the next NEDP assignment. I'd like you to meet Mary Zafries.
Hello. Good evening, everyone, and welcome fellow graduates, students, faculty, and friends. In this age of increasing technology and a constantly evolving workplace, you may think that having a high school diploma is not so important to be able to compete in today's complex workplace. You may think that employers are more concerned about college degrees and advanced skills acquired through the processes of higher learning, but nothing could be further from the truth. I would like to share with you my personal experience, and I hope my words might inspire those that need a high school diploma to pursue that goal no matter how challenging and rigorous it may be. Here's my story. 40 years ago, I began a career with a major medical institution in Maryland. During my initial interview process, I explained to the interviewer that I did not have a high school diploma. Due to my previous work experience, I was informed that I had completed the employment requirements and would be hired. I did try to get my GED, but never completed the process. There were many promotions and job position changes that enhanced my career. My diploma was never questioned, although each position was subject to review and approval by Human Resources. Then an important event changed my entire life. I was told that my current employment status was going to be reclassified within a month, and that employees like me would be allowed to find similar positions to remain in that current classification. I found a lateral position in my own department, but it was not going to be a paper transfer that I had grown accustomed to. There was going to be an internet-based application. It was like beginning all over again. During the application process, the section regarding education had to be completed. It required a yes or no answer. Did I have a diploma and/or a GED? There wasn't an explanation area. I tried to call and explain the situation, but to no avail. Next page. Okay. The next morning, there was a call from Human Resources saying that I had falsified my education requirements and was to be terminated immediately. That was a defining moment. I realized how important that diploma was. After a 40-year career, I was soon to be unemployed, 60-year-old, without the necessary credentials to find work. That day was on a Thursday, 4 weeks before Christmas. My husband took off the following day, and I knew what was required of me. Together, we went to the library and began the process of attaining a diploma. Later that afternoon, the journey led us to Carroll Community College. I enrolled for the January orientation. I knew I needed to do this, not only to get a new job, but now I wanted it. It was something I needed to do for my personal satisfaction. The simple mistake should have never been and was going to be corrected. At orientation, I learned that in Maryland, I had a choice as to how I earned my high school diploma, through the GED program or through the National External Diploma Program. Wanting to work at my own pace and in an allotted time frame, I chose the NEDP. The National External Diploma Program offered flexibility in scheduling, and it offered confidentiality. This is not a classroom-based program. I was required to meet with my assessor once a week to develop a portfolio that proved I met the requirements to be awarded a diploma. I was able to demonstrate the academic requirements using the skills I learned from life and work experience. I had to demonstrate skills in reading, writing, applied math, technology, and critical thinking to be awarded a Maryland High School diploma. This option was more practical due to my age and work experience. Working at my own pace was rewarding. I completed my required assignments at home, at the local library, and at the adult education site. At first it seemed daunting and intimidating. I felt a little overwhelmed and questioned myself, can I really do this? But it had to be done. The cultural literacy section was my favorite. The task was to watch and answer several questions about a film classic. My husband convinced me to choose Orson Welles' Citizen Kane. Has anyone watched the Citizen Kane? He considers the film to be the greatest ever made. It was a challenging exercise. I had to understand the music, lighting and shadow angles, character motives and themes, issues we often overlook in a film. It was an interesting and rewarding task. Now I look forward to watching it whenever it is on Turner Classics. Math was a real bear. For me, it was the most difficult part of the program. Enter the square root dilemma. Ay, ay, ay. I felt impending doom. If the Lord worked on the seventh day, he created Miss Pat. She made sure that those square roots would stay with me long after receiving my diploma. Miss Pat is truly an angel. She was always there to instill confidence. Then there was creating a PowerPoint. This task had me in a corner. I thought I would never master it, but thanks to the help and patience of Miss Kathy, she got me through it, for which I am so very grateful. And finally, there is April, who guided and directed and watched over me every step of the way. For that, I will always be grateful. I received my Maryland diploma in November of last year and decided to graduate on stage this year. Earning my diploma was something I needed to do, and it was something I've always wanted to do. But more than that, it gave me the opportunity to meet and become part of a Carroll Community College adult education family. I will be forever grateful for dedicated individuals such as Miss Pat, April, and Kathy, who work so hard to tutor, encourage, and push their students to success and to graduation. Angelina, Rihanna, Robin, and everyone on the staff, thank you so very much for being a part of my life there. In the beginning, I felt like a large, dark cloud was looming over me. I doubted my ability to conquer this hurdle in my life, but faith, determination, and the support of my husband. I don't see Steve. Where are you, Steve? There you are, okay. With the support of my husband and the counselors, teachers, and mentors at adult education helped me become a proud graduate. Always remember to have faith in a higher power, faith in yourself, and trust and cherish those that you become close to. I'm a little nervous. I'm kind of shy. Treat others how you wish to be treated, and you will find happiness. You will. To all future graduates, you will be up here very soon. Never say I can't. And again, thank you all so very, very much, and congratulations to my fellow graduates. Okay. Thank you. Thank you.
That was the light I came into in the mornings when I got there at 8:15. Mary was just as revved up as that. She was ready to go. I don't know our next speaker as well as I do Mary, but I do know that Henry was a student in our My Best program. The idea of My Best was to have diploma students simultaneously study for computer certification while studying for their GED. It was a very rigorous schedule and required a great deal of time and effort. Henry was able to complete his GED exam and pass one of the two certification exams for the A+ certification while working full-time. Please welcome Henry Saeed Salazar.
Good evening. I feel like I've been nominated for the Oscars and I won for Best Actor or something. Feels great. First of all, thank you for all this stuff of Carroll Community College. It's very good stuff. There are so many people I like to thank, but let me start by saying this. At some point, I decided to take the GED program. I went to North Street, and I got a flyer, and I saw that they given the A+ program plus the GED. So I was like, okay, let me try this. And the night of the orientation, I was there, and I felt a little awkward, because I felt like I was the oldest in there. And then the teacher said that Dave Thomas, you know who Dave Thomas was, by any chance? The creator of Wendy's, right? He is the owner or CEO, or whatever you want to call it, of Wendy's. And she said that he got his GED at the age of 61. That inspired me because I was like, it's never too late. So beginning of that, I was like putting a lot of effort to get the A+ and the GED. And yes, I work hard and I dedicate a lot of nights and Saturdays for this accomplishment. And this is really a happy moment right here because it's in my country. I tried to do that, but I failed a class and I couldn't graduate. And my mom was over here in the United States, and I was in Guatemala. That's where I'm from. So it was a little disappointing for me. And this graduation night it means so much for me because I know it means a lot for my mom because there's no greater gift for the parents that see their kids graduating of anything. So I was very grateful with this program that you created, and I'd like to thank also Mrs. Lawrence, who is right there. Can you stand up, Ms. Lawrence, please? No, you don't want to stand up? All right. She has so much value to this because she always pushed me to accomplish the last test, which was math, and I was really sucking at it, and I was like, I don't know if it's possible that she came with some ideas and everything, and if it wasn't for her, I think I wouldn't be standing here. So let's give her a little applause for her. Also want to thank my family who is right there. Can you stand up? Can you all stand up? No? You don't want to stand up? Okay. That's my nephew right there. It's my sister, my mom right there, and my beautiful wife who's right there. Can you stand up? Jessica, no? You don't want to stand up? Okay. I want to thank everybody here for coming to this ceremony. I think it's really nice. I want to thank God for giving me life and try to do the best I can for it. And last but not least, I want to thank this country because this country is so great. This country has given me so much, and I cannot thank enough. I think it's the greatest country in the world because it gives a lot of people opportunities. And every day people say that there's no work, but when I go to 495 Beltway, I think that there's a lot of work, because it's a lot of traffic anyways. But anyways, I like to thank everybody for making this possible. Congratulations to my fellow graduates, and happiness to me is not a place. Happiness to me is this right here, and this is for you, Mom. All right.
Thank you both so much. Aren't they great? Let's hear it again for the two student speakers. It takes a lot of courage to get up and speak in front of a crowd. Thank you so much. Well, this is the time we've been waiting for, the awarding of the certificates. Susan Leibman, our instructional coordinator, will read the graduate names as Dr. Ball and I present the certificates.
Brittany Dinterman. Sandra Gomez. Dustin Hess. Kiara Kipe. Randy Lancer. Juan Santos Ortiz. Cheyenne Schaefer. Ella Shipley. Henry Saeed Siliazar. Ibrahim Idrissa Sumela. Amber Tempera. Mary Zafriz. Thank you.
Okay, one last round of applause for these guys. Great job. Okay, as I close this ceremony, I want to thank our partners from the Maryland Department of Labor, Licensing, and Regulation, and the Carroll County Commissioners. Without their continued financial support, this would not be possible. We know that, according to the Commission on Adult Basic Education, quote, for every dollar invested in adult basic education, a community receives $60 back in increased income, property taxes, and savings on welfare and legal system expenses. Their continued support demonstrates their belief and trust as they empower Carroll County residents with the educational opportunities they need. So let's thank our funders for continuing our programs. Okay, graduates, would you please stand? Before this ceremony concludes, there's one thing you must do to make this official. Please move your tassel from the right to the left. Okay. The graduates have prepared a special presentation for you. At this time, the graduates are going to go off the stage to the row that's designated with the bags. So you're going to come off this way, go down and sit out there so you can see the presentation. And we're going to ask the guests on the stage to also move off the stage so you can see the screen behind you, okay? Graduates, you may now stand and go